noticed as far as the defense goes with Coach Muschamp kind of calling shots?
First, I want to say that I'm completely in full support of Coach Land's decisions. You know, we're rooting for him, of course. He was a great coach, a great mentor to all of us. And we know he's going to do great things at Oregon. And secondly, well, we know what we're getting with Coach Muschamp and Schumann. I think they're doing a co-thing where they're both going to be working together. Both of those guys, from the start, it was kind of like we had a bunch of defensive coordinators in there. With Kirby being defensive head coach, Muschamp being a former coach, but mostly a defensive coach also, and all those guys. So imagine there was like 4 masterminds of defense on the defensive side of the football. So it's not really changing anything, and we're all comfortable with who's taking place, and and that's how we're going to move forward.
What makes you call them masterminds? What about those guys makes you call them masterminds, specifically Coach Schumann and Coach Muschamp?
I would say it's their years of experience, the years of coaching, everything they have under their name in terms of where they've been, the people they've coached. So it gives them credibility on how much they know. So that's why I call them a mastermind. And I personally have learned a lot from all of them.
What kind of role do you think Coach Lanning's going to have during the bowl preparations and during the game?
I don't think his role's going to change. In my opinion, I think he's going to really soak in the last moment he has with us guys. The guys that he's coached, got to know who they are other than just football players. He's going to soak in that moment before he takes on his job at Oregon. Other than that, I don't think his role is going to change much.
Have there been any meetings where someone else, I don't know who gets in front of the room and leads the defense, or any where you could see any change in how they're going to handle it over the next few weeks?
Well, way before hearing about the Lanning job, it wasn't just one man taking control of what's being said in the defensive meeting room. It was all of them, whether it was Lanning coming up and talking, Schumann coming up and talking. They all took turns to talk about something different. So, like I said again, we're not seeing anything new in that regards, because Coach Schumann has gotten out and talked about different things, and also Coach Muschamp has gotten out and talked about different things. So.
Switching gears a little bit, obviously you guys lost your last game, and what's it been like getting back to work, coming off a loss for the first time in a very long time? I mean, what's the response been like?
Honestly, it's a bitter taste to have lost, but it wakes you up. It wakes you up, kind of gives you a sense of reality that you're not as great or as good as you had thought. You can get knocked down like this. So that only pushes us to really tighten everything up in terms of how we play going forward, because now it's a one-game season. You lose, you're out. So we have to make sure that we take the next games coming up seriously and put everything we have into it.
Lewis, the bust that you guys had defensively against Alabama, is that something that you think can carry over against Michigan? Do they can see some flaws that you guys showed, or how do you kind of clean that up?
Honestly, I felt like we're doing a whole lot of different things. We switched up a whole lot of different things for Bama that we didn't do the whole season. But we've gone to what we know and what worked for us the whole season. And to say I know what's gonna happen in the game, I can't see in the future. But I do know we're really in our comfort zone in terms of doing the things that we've done the whole season, and that's what worked for us.
What kind of things?
Basically playing the sound defense or the calls that doesn't involve you kind of chasing people around too much, or it doesn't involve you having to make so many checks and so many changes, where it's just simulated, where whoever moves, whoever changes, it plays.
Did you think there was a little bit of that paralysis by analysis in that last game then?
Come again?
You think there was a little bit too much in that last package for you guys in that last game? You talking about getting back to what you're doing and simplifying?
Yeah, I don't want to point fingers and make blame I think they might have been, but also there's the part that we as players didn't really play to our standard. So it showed by the yardage, by the score, and we just got to go back to what we know, what we're used to, what's worked.
What was the mood like getting back out? I guess you guys did some workouts last week before practice yesterday. How would you describe the mood in the locker room on the field?
The mood was really focused, and in terms of let's get back to business. No one was pouting. Everybody, the leaders, I would say, kind of had everybody rolling, and everyone was on the same page. So I think everyone's on the same page of knowing that now going forwards, you win, you keep going, you lose, you're out. So they know how important this is.
You talked about a loss like that waking you up. Have you noticed, I guess, a tangible difference in the attitude or mentality of the team? Since then, does this group and building feel more woken up since that Alabama game?
Oh yeah, I'm sure of it. Let's use the situation of Alabama losing to A&M. I'm pretty sure they had a wake-up call too, the same way we did losing to them. So losing that game gave us a wake-up call, and to know that we're not invincible. We have a good defense, we have a great team, but we can lose if we're not in our top shape, if we're not ready. So